So I'm an advisor, and I'm making sure clients are prepped for the operational impact of this transition to two-pot. Is there anything I should be doing or advising on regarding benefit structure of an employer's retirement fund setting?
Yeah, it's a good point. For good reason, people are focusing on the operational impact. There's a lot of communication just to go out, a lot to make sure that your retirement provider is going to be able to pay claims in reasonable time. But now is still the right time to be able to show your worth as an advisor, that you recognize the opportunity to make some shifts structurally. And actually, more than opportunity, it almost has to shift. It's such a fundamental change in the way your retirement fund behaves. It seems crazy that you would leave your kind of contribution rate and structure the same.
Okay.
The way I think about it is the key thing that's changing is people can now take a third anytime. So if before you'd set a contribution rate at a level that should be okay for people if they stayed invested to retirement, that is probably not going to be okay for them going forward.
Right.
And you should think about upping that. If you're assuming everyone will take their savings component all the way through to retirement, then you should be contributing 50% more. That's actually just a mathematical reality. If it was 10% and now they're going to take a third, if you made it 15%, a third of that is 5%. So then you'd be left with the same 10%.
Right. I mean, that's quite a big change. People don't usually like change. So, I mean, I can't imagine it's going to be easy.
No, and if you went to an employer and said, got great advice, people should contribute 50% more, you'll be laughed out the boardroom. It's just not practical. But what you can do is make appropriate structure shifts. What I mean by that is, at the very least, people should be able to contribute more. So you want to increase the flexibility that people have,
Right.
for sure. And so people who want to start using their retirement fund intentionally as having this kind of accessible emergency pot kind of feel to it should be able to contribute more. And a smart thing to do is to, let's say in that example, you were contributing 10%. Everyone contributes 10%. Now make your default 15.
Right.
That sets the right tone and message. You should be contributing more, but allow people to contribute at 10 if they still really want to. And that's one simple way of getting contributions up for at least some people, but still not causing a riot in the streets.
Okay. And I guess as an employee, navigating all of this flexibility, like how am I supposed to know what to do at the end of the day?
Yeah, it's a really good practical point. I mean, many advisors have been around the block a little bit will know that even when you implement flexibility, very few people take it up. So what you really need is a way to guide people with how to use that flexibility. So ideally what you want is something that digitally is the best way to do it because it's responsive, shows a member on your current trajectory you're going to get to this kind of a retirement outcome, a retirement income of 20,000 Rand. If you can't live with that, here's a way that you can close that gap and actually make it easy and implementable for employees. The good news is that exists, that kind of technology exists. The bad news, depending on who you are, is that at the moment, the only retirement fund provider I know that actually does that is Discoveries.